So I called my mom and I'm like, hey mom, I'm going to jail. I just turned 18 and like whenever I say just turned 18, like this was 3 or 4 days after my birthday. And it's a Friday night, and you know, in Houston, Friday night, what are you gonna do? You're gonna go out and you're gonna go to the meet, go race, go do something. So I went out with some friends and everything else, and we went trying to find meets. We couldn't find any meets, and so there were about 4 of us. There were 4 cars, a couple people, like passengers and whatnot. And we get over by where I lived at the time, and you know, somewhere where you live, you kind of feel confident knowing like the area you're in. And so we're at the red light, and I thought it'd be fun to just do a real quick pull with my buddy. So I revved up, you know, and everything else, and he revved up, and he just kind of gave me that look of like, we're gonna do this or what? And so the light turned green, and we just booked it. Like, I'm talking well over 100 miles per hour than what we should have been doing, like the speed limit. So triple digits over the speed limit is never a good thing. So we're going, and we get to the next intersection, and we're just sitting there, and maybe a couple seconds go by, and I just see state trooper cut us off. And my first thought is, please don't impound my car. Like, I know I'm about to get arrested, just don't impound my car. He pulls his gun out, and he draws his gun, and he's like yelling at us, get out of the car, blah, 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 everything else. And so we get out of the cars. He takes our IDs. I did not run due to the fact that my car was here, buddy's car was here. The 2 other guys were behind us like this. So he could have took off that way. If I didn't have a car behind me, I could have thrown it in reverse and hit the U-turn and took off. But with how the officer car was, I was just like, there's no way. So we pulled off into the Schlumberger right there off the feeder. And the guy I was with, he asked, he goes, can my girlfriend drive my car home? Mind you, he's got like a race clutch, manual transmission, and her face just goes, what? And the officer goes, yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, and the minute he said that, light bulb. I go, my parents live right down the street. Can I please call them and get them to come pick up the car? He goes, yeah, sure, why not? And so I get on the phone, and this is like, I came to tears and everything. Like, this is like a very hard moment for me. I was like, do I want to try to hide this and not tell my parents and everything else, or do I want to just call them and have them come? So I called my mom, and I'm like, hey mom, I'm going to jail. I literally just said, I'm going to jail. I don't have much time. Can you and dad please come pick up my car? And she goes, John, talk to your son. She was so sad. She was like very disappointed and everything else. And so my dad's like, all right, we're on our way, whatever. So my dad pulls up in his loud Camaro SS. And the cop directly looks at me and just gives me that face of like, really? Really, man? So I'm like, oh well, whatever. And so at this point, I'm in handcuffs and I'm in the cop car. And so I'm like this, and I take my phone out of my pocket, and I'm sitting there texting my girlfriend, my boss, my friend, telling everybody, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna disappear, no one get worried, I'm going to jail, blah, blah. I told my boss, I was like, probably won't be at work tomorrow, but just letting you know what's going on. They come up, my parents are there. They're very disappointed, sad, you know. My dad's more like mad, my mom's more crying. You know, up to this point, I'm out of the 5 kids she has, I was the only one that hadn't gone to jail. but now I'm 18 and I'm going to jail. But at least there's just something that's not like horrible. And so, my mom goes, "Can I see the video?" And I'm just sitting there like, "No, please don't." So the cop takes the camera, or the little dash cam thing that he has, and he turns it directly to where they can see it, but I have to watch it too. And he plays it, and I really wanted to mouth off and be like, "Hey, can I get a copy of that?" But of course, the better judgment of me just was like, "No, don't do that." So, there's another guy in the car that was just arrested for fleeing from the police. He was street racing somebody else. And I come to find out on my way to the holding cell, the Harris County holding cell, that the guy that was arrested just before, he mouthed off to the cop and said, "You just arrested me for street racing. You're not going to arrest them?" Because the cop wasn't going to come after us. But the guy said that, and so the officer came after us. So I went to jail. That's like the main thing. I had a horrible sandwich. It was really cold in there. They like to play Bad Boys. And it's really bright. And the clock was broken, so I didn't know what time it was. I got out fairly fast. So once I got out, I had the possibility of my license being suspended, possibility of going to jail, and then something else. What ended up happening was I hired a very good lawyer, and we took it to court, and ended up just having to do community service and taking a driver's course. Best 18th birthday ever.